All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, happy Wednesday. This is Bob Cooper.
And I'm Jen Longcliffe.
Yeah, and thanks so much for joining us. We certainly know that your time is valuable, but it's an honor to be able to spend this time with you.
Yeah. So welcome, everyone. This is session 3 of Marketing Auto Service. I'm ready to get started if you are, Bob.
Yeah, I certainly am, Jen.
Okay. Well, for those of you that are new with us today, which I know there's quite a few shops here that are, just a little bit more about who we are as a company. Just so you guys are aware, we live by the principle of never putting money ahead of people. So these are the ethics every elite family member lives by, and I'm proud to share that with you. And in regards to our mission statement, we'll actually talk about mission statements again today. This is what we live by. Our mission is to use our team of top experts in America to help automotive professionals reach their goals and live happier lives while elevating the industry that we all love so much. And this mission will be accomplished without ever compromising our ethics or the trust that is placed in us by all.
Well, certainly who we are, isn't it, Jen?
Yeah.
Certainly who we are. Well, for those of you that weren't able to join us at our earlier session number 1, what we did there, and we know that Jen and I knew that we had a lot of content that we needed to cover, so we broke this into 4 different sessions. Session number 1, which is recorded, and you certainly have the ability to go and watch the recording again if you'd like. But like it says on the screen, what we did there is give you a little bit of an overview of the terms that are more commonly used in the world of marketing. That way, when you're talking to agencies, branding companies, marketing agencies, advertising agencies, you'll be able to better understand what they're saying and why they're saying it. And we also took a look at how to identify your ideal customer, knowing that that's a huge subject in itself. We only were able to cover part of that in session number 1.
Right. And then followed by that, after we covered the last half of that, where we helped you guys identify those ideal customers. And we talked a lot about setting the proper budgets and how, to go about that with best practices.
Yeah, so true.
Yep. So today, what we're here to cover, you guys, is let's talk about affordable and effective ways to reach those ideal customers.
Yeah, I think they're going to really love what they hear today, Jen. I really do. I think you guys, the gals, I sense those of you that have been with us for a while, you're going to like what you hear today.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things that we're going to do then, when we get into the next session, which is going to be the last session next week, we're going to help you see just how you can go about tracking and measuring the results of all the campaigns that you put together, and how you can really drive up those customer satisfaction levels that you have. And of course, we're looking for you to generate more repeat and recurring business. So I sense that you're going to really like session 4 as well.
Right. So just a quick reminder, you guys, on how to best benefit from these webinars. Let's make sure you're uninterrupted in a space where you can give us your undivided attention.
And there you go. And we know that this is going to be available for your later review, but please take notes. It would be cool if you're able to do that.
Mm-hmm. And please don't dismiss any new ideas or suggestions we have. We just ask that you keep an open mind. Of course, there'll be a time frame for you guys to inquire with us. Mm-hmm. So there will be a session to submit your questions, and that's on your control panel to the right. If you guys see that, you can start inputting those questions, but we'll cover that towards the end, right, Bob?
Yeah, you bet we will. Toward the end, what we'll do is we're going to break for about 10 minutes or so, and any questions that you posted by then, we'll certainly take a look at them, and we'll answer them as well as we can. One of the things that we do know is there are a lot of similarities in a lot of the questions. So if we don't ask to answer your specific question, we're trying to take them in the order of what we feel is important to the majority of you,
right.
And we'll do everything that we can do to help you in every way that we can.
Good. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, Jen, I'm ready if you are.
Yes, let's get started.
Okay, I'm good to go.
All right. So we're going to talk about developing your strategic plan, tongue twister there, and we've already covered establishing your budget last week, right, guys?
That's what we did.
Yeah. So now let's focus on deciding any theme you may want to incorporate. So
cool.
This is
cool. Really cool.
So what I'm talking about here, you guys, for instance, it could be all about children as a theme. Maybe the theme may be all about military, or environmentally friendly shops. These are kind of big picture themes here. So as a consumer, I got to ask myself, why do I want to go to that shop? So maybe I love kids. Maybe I am a veteran, or I really care about the environment. And look, what do you know? So does this shop. So when we talk about themes, we're talking about what separates your shop from the others, from your competition. So I know, for instance, one coach we have, Bob, they're all about the kids at their shop.
Yeah, his own shop.
Yeah.
Everything that he does, isn't that so true, Jen? It's all about the children.
Right. And so, there they actually install really special child safety seats. Mm-hmm. They're good at that. their big theme, the kiddos?
Yeah, so here's the guy that, to Jen's point, here's the guy in Pennsylvania, one of our coaches that really understands business, and he knows that if you have a really great business, there may very well be other really great businesses in your community, and you got to find a way to say we're unique, we're different. And what he does is beyond just having a wonderful business, he says our company is all about the children. So his targeted customers, the moms with the little kids, they sort of are going to gravitate toward his kind of a business. So are the grandparents as well. So this is a big one. So we're really, 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 really into helping you. We really see the value in you identifying a theme that fits really well with you and your company.
Right, and your ideal customer, keeping them in mind.
Yeah, so true, Jen. So
right.
true, Jen. Awesome. That's a good one that you brought up, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things that you'll need to do, guys, and this is a big one too, and I want to make sure that we don't lose you on this. One of the first things that you have to do, and this is what a good branding company can help you do, select the colors of your company. And by design, I'm not going to use names of other industry companies, but you all know when you think of phone companies, if you think of, like, let's say one of the leading or two of the leading phone companies in America, I'm sure certain colors will jump into your mind. If I mention the name of one of those cell phone companies, then you would say, ooh, their colors are red. Everything that I see is red with their company. If I say another company, then you might say, oh, everything that I see with them is blue. So this is what we call the colors of your company. And what a good branding company will be able to help you do is define what those colors should be. And it's not just your core color that you're going to be using and everything, but it's all the colors that go on that palette, all the associated colors that go on that palette as well. The other thing you'll need to do is you'll need to make sure that you understand what your unique selling proposition is. What is it that really, really, really separates you from everybody else? And one of the things that we talked about on day one, or the first session, we're talking about the different terms. One of the terms that we talked about was your USP, your unique selling proposition. And this gets back to, why are you different? What is it about you and your company that really makes you the place where everyone should say, you know what, I'm going to go to that guy or gal, that's where I'm going to take my car to get it fixed. Core images is another one that you really need to think about. Core images means what images do you feel are going to be almost in all of your marketing materials? Whenever possible, you're going to say, you know what, this is an image that I'm going to drop into my marketing materials. This is one of the things you need to consider. The next one that says taglines and the core messages that will resonate with your customers. Now, if Jen, could we go to the next slide for a moment?
Yeah.
I want to show you something in our logo as an example to help you better understand what we're talking about. This logo has our core color in it. You'll find that in all of our marketing pieces, we use this color because this is a color that represents who we are. If you take a look underneath, it says people, principle, and results. This is our tagline. Where did this come from? Well, where this came from, this wasn't a thought that I had or somebody in our company had. We had worked with a number of different branding companies. We wanted to make sure that we felt comfortable that we were coming to the right decision. And by the time all the distillation was done, all the different conversations were done, all the branding companies kept telling us the same thing. One of the things that we have that really makes us unique, one of the things that we have that really makes us different from everyone else, is the people within our organization, people like Jen and Doris and all the other great people that work with us. That's what makes us unique. What else makes us unique? Our principles. Like Jen said earlier, we live by a principle, we'll never put money ahead of people. What else makes us unique? Our results. The fact that we're able to deliver the results that we promised our clients we're going to deliver to them. So the branding companies kept coming back to that, and they kept saying, this is your USP. This is what needs to be in your tagline. Somehow or rather, we have to echo that you're a company that has the right people, a company of the right people with the right principles are able to deliver results. So this is how this came up. This is not something, again, that I created or one individual in the branding company created. This really is the work of many people. And this is what you need to do in your own business. So hopefully this all makes sense to you.
Yeah, great example. Great example. So we covered 2 and 3. Now, with number 4, we want you guys to determine the best strategy for reaching your ideal customer. So we're talking strategy here, Bob. Big picture. Yeah. So, I mean, how are you going to reach that ideal customer? You know, maybe we're talking about that female that is between, 35, 45-year bracket. She's got 2 kids, etc. I mean, how are you going to reach this gal? So your investment, you guys, is completely predicated on who you're trying to reach. who you're trying to reach. So what strategies are going to use to get this mom, per se? So community-based advertising, would that be one? You know, ways to help kids in the local community.
Good point.
You know, mom with kiddos. You know, she's probably active on Facebook. They're going to have some presence there, some strategy there. Child causes. I mean, clearly she's got kids. So we're talking big picture here, strategy. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, well said, Jen. And make sure that you guys are understanding what we're talking about here. What Jen is saying, she's not talking about any particular media. She's talking about the strategy that you're going to use, the media at large that you're going to use, how you're going to reach people through your community. And a great example would be if you look at Red Bull, the strategies that they use are they're always going to say, where are the younger people at? And we're going to go to them. Instead of them coming to us, we're going to go to them. We're going to be in their presence. We're going to be at their events. So this has nothing to do with advertising. It has to do with their strategy as to how they're going to reach their ideal customer.
Right.
So this is one of the things that you guys and gals need to do. And all of you are going to have different ideal customers, right, Jen?
Absolutely.
You know, depending on a lot of different things. So once you know who these guys or gals are that you're trying to reach, this is what you have to do.
Okay. So brand development tips. Here's some really neat tips, you guys, from Elite. So we'll go through these. I know we have a few on this slide. So the first one, as you guys can all see, we want to make sure that you ensure all company names, those associated names, and associated URLs are available. So what I'm suggesting here is do your homework. And we got to see what the availabilities are. So looking at the names of the companies, we want to get all of the associated names and flip them up by them. So grab all similar domain names. For instance, if there's Elite Auto Repair, there's Elite Car Care, Elite Auto Service, etc. By those names, you know, definitely grab them up.
So get them all.
Get them all.
Get them all. Get all those names, guys and gals. Just lock into all of those names every way that you can, because you want to make sure that somebody doesn't come behind you and sweep away your name. So this is one of the best kept secrets when it comes to building a company, and certainly the marketing as well. I mean, Jen and I thought we would drop these tips in for you. There's a number of different tips we wanted to share with you. Here's another one that we have up here. It says, choose your branding company wisely. And throughout this course, we've been encouraging all of you to really understand the value of a branding company. You guys and gals, I'm sure, run really great auto repair business, and that's cool because you know your business. And one of the things that I'm sure that you'll always tell your customers is the same thing that I told people when I was in the auto repair business. And that is, you need to come to us. Let's take care of your auto repair problems because we know how to do it. We're professionals at it. It's no different when it comes to branding. You and I might feel as though, gee, we got a handle on this. But in reality, there are a lot of things that we don't understand when it comes to branding and marketing. So this is why you need to get a branding company involved. Find the right company, sit down with them, interview a number of different companies. You want to take a look at all of the work that they've created. You want to see if they've worked with companies of your size. You want to see if they've worked with service companies, companies that deliver services, not products. And these are the things that you need to do when you're interviewing these branding companies. Make sure that they really understand who you are. If you get the vibe, gee, I think this might be the wrong company, then it more than likely is the wrong company.
Right. And to piggyback on that, another tip, when you find that right company, I want you guys to ensure the right individuals are going to be working on your particular project. So what I mean by that is let's dig deep, you know, specifically ask who worked on the ads that you particularly love that this company's done. And if they say, oh, it was a team effort, I really encourage you guys to dig a little bit deeper. Ask who was the driver, you know, of a particular ad. The creator, you know, the person with the big conception there. Ask if they're still with the company, and if they are they available to work on what your project?
Yeah, what a great point. What a great point, Jen. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, make sure that when you're looking at these ads and you find those ads that really jump out at you, make sure that they're still employing the people that were behind those really great ads.
Right.
Yeah, great point on your part, Jen.
Thank you.
And the next one says, ensure you have complete ownership of all items that are created. And simply, what that simply means is make sure that you literally have ownership of all of it, not licensing agreements, not right to use them or anything like that. And this goes with your URLs as well. You need to buy your URLs. Don't go through a third-party company getting the URL and letting you use it, or the names of your company. You need to have complete ownership of all of the items that are created for you. So make sure that that's in any agreements that you have with any of the branding companies.
Right, good tip. I think we got one more for you guys. Yes. So consider embedding your mission statement, there it is, in your messaging. So what I mean by this is everywhere. So that mission statement and that messaging should be on business cards, your envelopes, your website, obviously, even thank you cards. If it's on your repair order, that's great. Bare minimum, maybe a beautiful sign, professional sign, behind the counter on the wall.
Yeah. Great observation. Great recommendation, Jen. That's a great one. Well, look, how do you reach these guys and gals? Well, in a general sense, the first place to start in all cases is going to be your staff. Turn to the guys and gals that work with you, and you need to have incentive programs in there for all of your technicians, not your advisors. It's their responsibility to generate customers for you. But for people like your technicians, as an example, you need to have incentive programs in place where they could earn an income for new customers that are recommended to you. So I know that we have a limited amount of time. We can't dig into that deeply, but this is the first place that you need to start.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that you need to consider is your existing customers. I mean, these are guys and gals that can become great marketeers for you. So when you have those customers that you know are truly your songbirds that believe in you, tap into them. If you know that they work with organizations where your marketing focuses are going to be driven toward, then talk to them about those organizations. They can help you get into those organizations. If Jen Monslis, as an example, is a songbird, she comes to Elite Auto Service and she works at the hospital. And the hospital is one of the places we would like to be able to better advertise and market our services. Then we're going to reach out or we're going to utilize Jen whenever possible. Mm-hmm. So here's a couple places that you need to start when it comes to how you're going to get from here to there, reaching your ideal customers.
Right, and then let's talk about websites. So everything from the full featured, the mobile, third-party sites. We want to make sure that you guys have a contemporary site. We've got a mobile site option as well, and you want presence with as many third-party websites as possible. So, things like part suppliers and other sites. Maybe Mothers Against Drunk Driving. How can you get some real estate on their websites as well?
Yeah, there you go. And when you're having your websites designed, don't forget, whatever your core colors are need to be embedded into that site. All of your imagery needs to be embedded in that site. Your entire site needs to be built around that guy or gal that you're trying to reach. Mm-hmm. You need to constantly ask yourself about them as an individual. What would be the kind of site that they would like to see? So,
right.
Great tips on your part, Jen.
Yeah, and then underneath that, you guys will notice that we encourage you to have employment opportunity pages that speak to your culture. So the culture must be represented there. You want to have people want to work there, and we need to know what's going on with availabilities now. Yes.
Oops, I thought we had that on the slide.
Yeah, and there's our last one.
Yeah, sorry, so much. Sorry, Jeff. So you need to make sure that your website, of course, is optimized for search. And when you're choosing a search company, there are a lot of things that you need to consider. But remember, the better search companies are not going to be the most inexpensive at first when you look at them. You're going to have to invest. To find the right company that's going to do a great job, you're going to have to invest some dollars. You should not expect immediate return on that. It's going to take a while to get your rankings up, but find the right company. Make sure that your website is properly set up to generate the search that you need.
Right, I agree. Okay. So next,
this is a biggie, huh? Yeah, so let's talk about reviews if we could, Jen.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff to share with you guys. This is pretty interesting. So this is a study done this year, as you guys can see, and 92% of consumers read online reviews this year versus look what the number was in 2014, 88%. So there's definitely an increase here, and I can tell you guys, before I go somewhere or buy anything, I'm looking at reviews before I even consider that.
Yeah, there you go. And the target customer, don't forget, the target customer the model customer that we're using for what we're doing in this course that we put together is that gal 35 to 45 years old. You know that this gal is going to be looking at reviews. Mm-hmm. So this is the thing that you need to be concerned about, or right. You need to be informed of.
And another thing I wanted you guys to know, this is also good. Look at this study. So the star rating is the #1 factor used by consumers to rate a business. So more reason for you guys to work hard to get those 5-star reviews, right?
Yeah, so true. Mm-hmm. So true, Jen. Here's another one we decided to put up that we thought could help you. Take a look at this, guys and gals. If you have one negative review, then that's going to equate to approximately 22% loss of people that are going to reach out to you. 3 negative reviews, look where it lands. 4 negative reviews pretty much means you're dead. You're out of business when it comes to getting people to reach out to you.
Right.
So what are we talking about here? You have to do everything you need to do to minimize your negative reviews, make sure that you get really great reviews on your site.
Absolutely.
And here's another one. Take a look at this one. This is one that I found really intriguing, and I remember having a conversation with Jen when we first discovered this result. And this was from the University of Central Florida, and it says that in 2015, 88% of people trust reviews as much as personal recommendations. And the thing that I found interesting about that is it really doesn't speak much to their friends. When they're trusting reviews more than their friends, but really it really is something that I think is telling how powerful reviews are.
Absolutely. Good to know.
Yeah, and in regard to reviews, we know that this is a subject in itself, and we really don't have time to spend. This is such a subject on itself. We can't spend any more time on it with this particular course, but what we want you to do is be aware that if your targeted customer is going to be that gal that we had talked about as an example, almost all targeted customers are going to be people that you need to consider with reviews. It's something that you really need to put a strong focus on. Right. That's what we're encouraging you to do.
Okay. So another big picture here, social media, right? I mean, that's a large topic of discussion, but we've been talking about now, as Bob says, the importance of identifying your ideal customer. We got a little, example of that. There she is, her kiddos, her family. So when it comes to social media, we just want you guys to know you've got to have a presence, and you can't manage all of this on your own. You can't do it alone, right, Bob?
Yeah, true.
We just want you to be effective, and we want you guys to have the capacity to manage it. And so, our company, we have a lot of help with social media. So you guys need to as well. Yeah,
it's something we have found, and I'm sure the case is true with you. You might be able to manage a little bit with your Facebook as an example. You might be able to do some posts and things of that nature. But beyond that, you're going to struggle. Your business, your time needs to be focused in on working on your business, not on working on social media. That needs to be in the hands of somebody else. It's such a huge science. It is has such an overpowering bearing on the outcome of your business. You need to make sure that you have the right people helping with social media. This is what we've done to Delete, and this is one of the things we're going to encourage all of you to do as well.
Yeah, so, like a thought starter for there. I know there's, social media. There's an app called Nextdoor. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's for, communities where everyone kind of knows each other, and that's newer if you guys haven't heard of that. But it's where neighborhoods get together, where neighbors know neighbors, and we know when people start talking, good things happen. So kind of a cool app where folks in the community share local events in their neighborhood's news. They also talk quite a bit about local providers and services. Yeah. So something to consider.
Yeah, so social media, as Jen has suggested, it's changing every day. As we speak, it's changing. So you need to stay on top of it, guys and gals. I'm sure that you're aware of it, and you need to have the right people helping you with it.
Right.
Okay, the next one we have is community-based programs. One of the things that we've done over the years is we've done lots and lots and lots and lots of customer panels. This is not. I'm not speaking of focus groups. I'm speaking of customer panels. And one of the things that we've learned over the years is customers in the auto repair business, they love dealing with shop owners that are engaged in the community. So then that means you need to be actively engaged in the community. And we put together a list of some of the things, and again, you don't have to write all of these down. You can come back and look at it later. But Jen and I put together a list of things that we thought you need to consider when it comes to community-based programs.
Right. So how do you reach your ideal customer? This is the gal here. So charities, maybe looking at child-related charities, Make-A-Wish. How can you guys resonate with those customers? Charities for terminally ill children, American Cancer Society, etc.
Yeah, great points, Jen. Great points. Charities are winners for you guys and gals.
Right. Safety services. Talking about policemen, firemen, firewomen. Maybe you guys can offer a 15% discount, some form of discount to all those types of employees.
Yeah, that's a great one too, isn't it, Jen? Think about it, huh?
Yeah.
Giving back to the community that way.
Right. I've already talked about hospitals, so this is one as a thought starter. We've got a coach, Armando Orozco. He donates a free oil service to anyone who donates blood at a local hospital in the community. What better way to get involved with that community-based program?
Yeah, is that neat or what?
Yeah.
So what a neat way to give back to the society and get involved with the hospital at the same time where everybody's talking to everybody.
Right. So support groups as well, just some ideas. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Wounded Warriors, how can we fundraise for them? Maybe you guys can think about doing a car care event at your shop and, sell tickets. They can sell tickets for $10 and all money and proceeds go to that chapter.
Yeah, but that's a great recommendation, Jen. Well, I love that one.
Yeah. So social groups. So think about this. The YMCA, country clubs, sporting events. I mean, can you guys volunteer? How do we network there? So all good ideas.
Yeah, one of the things that we found in the past, and I hope we don't lose you with this one, but we call it communities within communities. And if you take a look at an example at hospitals or the safety services, and let's use your local fire department as an example. If you're able to influence one person in the fire department, you're going to influence them all. I hope you agree with me on that, because they're always communicating with one another. The same is true with the schools. The same is true with the hospitals. You do something, you find a way to have an impact on somebody there, it will reach all of them. So this is why we're really big on looking at different venues that you could use where you could reach the masses by reaching one or two individuals. So the next one that we have up is business groups. And so the Chamber of Commerce, if you're not involved with them, you need to find ways to get involved with them. All religious and spiritual organizations, what can you do to help them? How can you get involved with them? Go and meet with those spiritual leaders. Tell them who you are. Tell them that you would love to be able to help more of their parishioners. How do you go about doing that? What are some of the things that you could do in a charitable way to help their people? So this starts with a conversation with them. Community activity, car care clinics are huge. Car talk radio shows that you could do, huge. A lot of guys and gals, and I think it's funny, Jen, a lot of guys and gals say, well, you know what, I don't want to do the car talk radio because the guys that listen to those radio shows on Saturday morning, that's not my customer. Well, you know what, it doesn't have to be your customer. The fact that you're just doing that radio sets you up as a credible expert.
Right.
You are the guy. You're the guy doing a radio program. And a lot of people are going to just hear that as background chatter. They'll be mowing their lawn or doing something, cleaning the yard or whatever, and they'll hear you on a radio in the background. So even if they're not a do-it-yourselfer, you're still building your brand and setting yourself up as an expert by doing that. Schools are huge. This gets back to what we were talking about earlier about communities being within communities. That's what this is all about. So what can you do there, whether it be private schools or public schools? One of the things that Jen mentioned, I believe, in our very first session was about how you can go to the schools and you can tell them, look, this is what I would love to be able to do. I would love to be able to support your art department in your grade school here.
Right.
I would love to be able to do two things. I would love to be able to, number one, give a check for $1,000 toward your art department. And number two, I would like to help you raise even more money for your art department. Here's a coupon that goes out to all, you can pass these out. I'll print them if you'd like. They could go to all of the kids, all the families that have kids enrolled in the school. And what it does is it entitles the parents of children to go to your school, that they bring in their car and get it serviced. We go ahead and do the service, and all that money, as an example, or $20 as an example, will go back to the school as well. So it's a really neat way of getting your brand into the school. So
I love that.
Yeah, this is one you really don't want to miss, guys. Look at the last one, community disaster emergency plans. And I don't understand why more shop owners don't really grab onto this. This is huge.
Right.
Especially if you live in an area that could be inflicted with tornadoes or floods or whatever. Then you need to be ready when something happens that devastates or really brings trouble to your community. What are you going to do to step up to the plate and help? What are you going to do? I don't know what the answer is to that, but you need to think, you and your team need to think about what the answers are to that and have that in place. So we wanted to provide you with a list of things that we thought can help you better understand how you can get involved with your community. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this helps. Another tip, media tip for you guys and gals, it says the most successful ads have a strong emotional appeal. This is one that most guys and gals miss when they're trying to do this advertising or marketing on their own. They think everything is logic-centered, and it's not. The most successful ads are all, every single time, they're all emotionally centered. And Jen and I decided to put together some for it. Here's one from the 70s. This is actually a magazine, a back cover of a magazine. And this was very common in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s to see ads like this. Here it is. It's by a tobacco company. We all know what tobacco does to people.
Right.
We all know the outcome of using the product. And the company that produced this ad, they knew that they couldn't talk about the product itself. So they wanted to talk about the brand. Their targeted client was a young guy that they knew could become one of their clients. So how do they reach the young guys? By using an ad like this. Strong emotional appeal in the ad. A virile, young-looking, handsome cowboy, outdoors, the freedom of outdoors, the feeling of power because he's on a horse, the sport of kings because of the horse. Everything that a young guy would like to see is in this ad. So they knew that when young guys would see this ad over and over and over again, they would start to like the feeling, not what they think, the feeling that they would have with this ad. And then if you look at the ad and if you look in the background, there's the name of the brand. So they're connecting the brand with feeling good. The more they can connect the brand with feeling good, then the more that they would know that when that young guy would be in a service station or whatever, a convenience store, he would see the pack of cigarettes. He would feel good when he saw them. He would reach out and buy them. This is how they built their brand. It's also how they sold a lot of cigarettes as well. Let's take a look at a couple more. Here's another one. These are actually billboards that were actually ran in the city of Detroit by Chevrolet. And look at what it says. It came in 17 colors, all of them red, white, and blue. So here they are. They're talking about a very old car, 1957 Chevrolet, but they're reaching to the patriotism of people, the red, white, and blue. So people would say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to buy an American car. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a Chevrolet. So again, this is all based on emotion, not on logic. We got a couple others that we could show them too.
Yeah, look at this one. Look at how Geico's done a great job connecting with people nowadays, right? I mean, Bob's over here laughing and smiling. I'm sure you guys are too. Look how people make decisions on insurance now. I mean, you got to feel good. It's something they don't want to buy, and this smiley little lizard just cracks us all up every time.
Yeah.
Right, you guys?
Yeah, it makes you smile. So when you're thinking of insurance and you see the name Geico, you're going to probably think of a lizard, right, Jen?
Absolutely.
And you'll smile. And as soon as you smile, they got you.
They're smart.
You'll call them.
They're smart cookies. Look at this one. This is actually a client of ours, ATC Auto Center. Look at the colors they're using. Look at the kiddos here. They're smiling. They're outdoors. They're happy. Back to school. We're going to take care of your family and your vehicle.
What a great ad, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What a great ad.
Yeah, this company gets it. What's better than, tailgating, barbecuing, supporting your local team? This makes you smile. This gives you the warm and fuzzies, summertime, and having a good one there.
All about brand building. All about brand building. So number one, immediate tip for all of you, the most successful ads always have a strong emotional appeal. Number two, let's take a look at the second one here. Visual element ratings. What this means is what has the most impact on people. Believe it or not, it's not the size of your ad. It's the graphic design. It's the quality of the design of the ad.
Right.
That's what's going to draw them in. What comes second to that is the color. What comes third to that is the size of the ad. So when you're thinking about creating ads, it's not so much how big the ad is, but it's are you using color and how well is it designed. So this gets back to the fact that you need to hire people that are really great graphic designers that can help you put together your ads.
Right.
Here's actually one of our direct mail pieces, and this is a dear longtime friend of mine, Bill Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
He actually works with us, the coach as well, and I'm pleased to say he was voted by Motor Trend as one of the top shop owners in America. So he's a very successful shop owner in Simi Valley, California. The reason I'm mentioning this ad to you is take a look at it. There's a lot of dynamics here that are really important. Number one, people love to look at pictures of other people. It draws them in because they'll do a self-comparison. Do I know that guy? Does that guy look like me? This is the way people are wired. He's smiling. He's saying, I'm happy. So this is the emotional appeal by having a person in the ad. Now, what happens when people look at ads? They will almost always read in what is called, they'll almost review an ad in what's called a Z format, meaning upper left-hand corner, they'll read across. We're taught to read from left to right. Your eye will scan across the top, left and right. Then from the upper right corner, your eye will go back, almost like you're going to read the next line to the left, in a Z form down toward the bottom, and then across to the right at the bottom again. So if you looked at this ad, imagine a huge Z on it. Your eyes are going to be drawn in by Bill Garcia. You're going to then immediately go to the word you in the upper left-hand corner. You'll read across. Then your eye will scan down. You'll read the body content that is under the big headline. You'll see the logo, and then from that point, your eye will go to the right, and that's where the call to action is. This is who we are. We're going to be in St. Louis or whatever it is. This is our phone number. This is how to reach us. So this ad shows the proper layout of an ad, and it also shows our company colors, which are the soft grays and dark blues and the dark reds that you see here.
I love it.
So a lot to be learned there.
Right. And just some more studies I wanted to share with you guys. I mean, this is really interesting. Bob's talking about color, but look at that. It keeps people engaged 21% longer.
Amazing. Huh?
Pretty interesting,
Yeah,
right?
amazing.
Also, bold listings. Look at this. I mean, we want you to be aware of that. They're viewed 43% more than a non-bold listing. So consider that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, also, we want you guys to consider the advantages of co-branding, but make sure you have permission to do so. So giving you an idea, if you can utilize the great name of AAA, if you're a AAA approved shop, consider the advantages of using that brand in your media. But of course, we want you to have permission to do so first.
Yeah, and that's so cool. And when you think about it, an organization like AAA, for all of you that are approved auto repair facilities, I'm sure that you can understand this. Here's a brand that's been around for over 100 years, or about 100 years. And it is so recognized. It is so recognized, and it is so trusted. So if you're able to use that brand in your media, you are actually starting to embed the credibility of their brand in with yours.
Right.
So this is why we're really big on co-branding whenever possible. Now, we're not suggesting you out there and make a piece of media look like it's all about the other company. All that we're saying is consider the value whenever you do co-branding. And in many cases, you'll also get some economic values too. By then, I mean, some companies may even offer you financial incentives or pay for part of the marketing or whatever if you include their name in your marketing pieces. So this is a big one. Number 4 says consider radio ads that are going to serve as recruiting tools as well. I know that we have a very limited amount of time, but I'm going to do a quick example for you, all right?
Okay.
And again, you guys and gals could go back and you could listen to this later. You could watch this video again later. But let's say, for an example, I have Elite Auto Repair, and let's say that I'm looking to hire a technician. And let's say all of you that are viewers now on this webinar, let's say that you're driving down the street, and just imagine now, you hear this radio ad when you're driving down the street. And imagine you're not in the auto repair business, that you hear this radio ad. Hi, I'm Bob Cooper, president of Elite Auto Repair here in San Diego. If you're an ASC Master Certified Technician, if you're very gifted at what you do, if you're drug-free, and if you live by a principle that you'll never put money ahead of people, then I would love to chat with you. Again, my name is Bob Cooper. I'm the owner of Elite Auto Repair right here in San Diego. You can reach me at 888-756-3102, or you can find us on the web at eliteautorepair.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Now look what's happening. You're driving down the street, you hear that ad, and you are not a technician, but you might know a technician. Technician might be in your family, and you're going to go to that tech and you're going to say, hey, I heard a radio ad by Elite Auto Repair, and they were talking about drug-free, and they were talking about if you live by a principle of never putting money ahead of people. So what I'm doing is I'm communicating with you and selling you on our brand. You will then sell family members or people that you know that are technicians in the community. Now, we came up with this idea about 3 years ago. We've had rave success with it, and it was intended, obviously, to recruit. But one of the things that we found is a lot of the people that are in the motoring public, they heard that ad, and they were coming in, and they would say, look, I'm not a technician, but I heard about you on the radio, and you sounded like the kind of shop that I wanted to do business with. So here I am. So radio ads that serve as recruiting tools can be really great tools for you when it comes to building your marketing strategy.
Absolutely. Hope you guys like that tip. That's great.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
About that time.
About that time.
Questions and answers, as it says on the says up on the screen. So we have a few minutes, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we possibly can. Any of you that have questions, now would be a great time to take a minute and type them and send them in. Oh, here they all come now.
Okay, so coming on in.
Okay, here comes one that says, would you do a quick review? Would you do a quick number 2 of the radio ad? I'll be more than happy to do it. Jen is pulling these up.
Sure.
And it went like this, guys. And go, hi, I'm Bob Cooper, I'm Bob Cooper, owner of Elite Auto Repair here in San Diego. If you're a drug-free technician, if you're very gifted at what you do, if you're ASC certified, and if you live by a principle that you'll never put money ahead of people, then I would love to hear from you. You could either give us a call at 858-756-3102, or you can visit us on the web at eliteautorepair.com. So that's what the radio ad sounds like for the gentleman or the gal that put in that question. Again, you could go on our website and you'll be able to, or you could go and watch this video again and hear it there as well. Here we go.
So we're having questions about identifying a branding company.
Well, here's one question that says, how do you go about identifying a branding company? And the cool thing is that they actually don't have to be in your backyard. They could be anywhere because you can do everything electronically today. But one of the things that you might want to bear in mind is take a look at the really good imagery that you see in your community. And when you find really good imagery, really good branding, and you go, whoa, look at this. This is really amazing. I'm sorry, it's not going to be somebody in the auto repair business. So all that you need to do is reach out to them. And let's say it's a refrigerant company or it's a title company or a real estate broker or whatever it is, and ask them, hey, I was just really impressed with all of your branding materials. Do you mind telling me was that done locally, or could you tell me who did it? I'm in the auto repair business and I'd like to chat with him. So number one. Number two, obviously practice what we preach and go to Mother Google and ask her. She's a very bright lady.
Right.
She'll tell you about people in your community and take a look at the reviews and see what you can find from them. And then, of course, go and take a look at their work and see what you discover.
Right. We got a question here. It says police and fire departments, schools, /teachers, etc. Are you recommending specific discounts for those groups or just specific marketing?
Nice. Yeah, that's a great question. I'm recommending specific give back for that community. I'm saying that what you do is you tell anybody that's a firefighter as an example, anybody that's a police officer as an example in our community, this is what we will do for you. We'll give you a 15% discount on service or whatever it is. And a lot of guys and gals are going to choke on it. They go, oh my gosh, I'm going to give away all this money. I'm giving away 15%. I'm already struggling with my business. That's not the case. Because you do a good job for that guy or gal, they're going to tell a lot of people.
Oh, right.
And those people are going to come in and they'll pay the retail price. So this is the absolute give-in. And the other thing that you need to bear in mind is mark this down in your calendars, all right? All of you, get out a notepad and mark this down in your calendar. Before the holidays come around, in the month of October and November, put this plan into place. Put together really nice gift baskets. I mean, a very beautiful gift basket. And then, as an example, walk into your local fire department and give it to them. A lot of really nice treats in there. When I'm talking about gifts, I'm talking about prepackaged treats that are in there. Walk into the fire department and say something like this. Talk to one of the firemen and say, you know what, I'm in this community, and one of the things I couldn't help but notice is I see your fire trucks every now and then going up and down the street, and I know that you guys do a really difficult job, and I want to let you know how thankful I am as an individual for all that you do. So I'm Bob from the Elite Auto Repair here in San Diego. I wanted to bring this gift basket in and wish all of you guys a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas and give it to them. Now, you don't have to give them a business card. You've already told them who you are. Trust me, he will tell everybody in the fire department who you were.
Right.
He will remember you. And now we're doing exactly what we're talking about. Now, you could do this not just in a local fire department. You could do this in a lot of service communities in your community. So this is one of the best kept secrets when it comes to what we call grassroots marketing. Jen, we got a few minutes. You got whoa, man, lots of questions.
All right. So there's a specific question about covering recommended percentages of budgets to put into various sources. So website and CEO, where we cover recommended percentages of budget to put into social media, AdWords.
Yeah, that's really a great question, and you need to run from anybody that would try to answer that question for you. Because right, Jen? Because there is nobody that can tell you that. That's all going to depend on who your ideal customer is. Once you identify, as an example, when we're talking about the gal that we were talking about earlier as our targeted customer in social media, we're going to invest a lot of money in social media. On the other hand, if we're talking about our ideal customer, a veteran, a guy that's a blue-collar worker or something like, not a blue-collar worker, but a guy that's a baby boomer, we're going to say, well, we're not going to go to social media, so we're not going to be putting as much money there. We're going to be there, but not as much. So there's going to be wild variances on that. So what do? What is the answer to your question? You throw money at it and you see what sticks. This is what all great companies do. You need to put money in it and you need to measure the results carefully, which we're going to cover next week. And then what works, you stick with it. How about any other questions? We got a minute or two maybe, and then whoops, looks like we're almost out of time.
Yeah, we're almost out of time. We've got one about soliciting people to come to your shop. Is that something we'd recommend using advertising? Like, for instance, he's recommending, or he's asking about a particular app. There's a popular app out there nowadays called Pokemon Go, which is advertising. It gets people to come into their shop.
Yeah. Well, the best answer that I could give to you it depends on who your targeted customer is.
Right.
So I would say for Red Bull, I think that would be an awesome thing to do. So it depends on who. I don't believe that this is the right thing to do for your targeted customer. And I'm making a very broad statement here because because I don't know who your businesses are, but I have a general understanding of the kind of businesses most auto repair businesses are. So I would not recommend an app like that for the overwhelming majority of you, if not all of you.
All right. Well, how about time? We're just
Yeah.
there, you guys. So thank you for all these great questions. We're going to be back next week, of course, as you guys know. So that will be our final session. It's been so fun working with you guys on this, but we're going to talk about tracking and measuring the results of the campaigns we've been discussing, how to improve those happier customers. We want you guys to be able to generate more repeat and referral business as well. So we'll be tackling that next week.
Yeah, I have every reason to believe you're going to really like what you hear next week. I really, really do. If you like what you heard the first 3 weeks, then you absolutely have to be here with us in session number 4.
Right, right. And here we are. So if you guys have any questions, if there's anything we can help you with, jot down our number. It's 800-204-3548. Been a pleasure being here with you guys today. Thanks for having me, Bob.
Oh, my pleasure, Jen. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for putting up with me as well.
We'll see you guys in a week.
Okay, see you guys next week. Thanks again for joining us.